Ladies and gentlemen, good morning to you all. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for responding to that. It's my pleasure. It's our pleasure to welcome you to this year's NBCSC Conference 2024. Make some noise!
We're going to do one better than that. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, stakeholders, industry experts here present, we're super happy to have you all here with us today. We see amazing faces. Some faces are new, some faces are very familiar from last year's event. Thank you so much for being here today. We know that weekends are tight. There's a lot to do. There's there's all kinds of functions. And so we truly appreciate your presence and gracing us, right here with your presence. It means everything to us. So once again, please put your hands together for your amazing self. Please put your hands together for yourself. Thank you so much.
And this is quite interesting that this year's theme.
Absolutely. And the reason why this theme is so fitting is because it feels like we're in a new era. We're in a new dispensation, is that right? Every year we continue to see rapid technological advancements and digitization take over the financial landscape. And so it's important that we adapt to this era that is characterized by high-speed transactions, while we do not compromise, but we actually prioritize operational efficiency as well as security. So we're going to be having germane, salient conversations on the subject matter of financial security, operational efficiency, digital transformation, innovation, check clearing. We're doing the whole 9 yards. It promises to be a super packed event. Cyber security, we're going to touch on the length, the breadth, the height, and the depth of all things clearing and payment system in our financial sectors. Thank you once again for being here today.
And don't forget, we'll also talk about the future of payments and talking about the account-to-account payment also and how to make it better also.
MBCS 2024. You can only imagine the amount of work, sleepless nights, planning, and execution that this wonderful minds and this brilliant team have painstakingly put together such a wonderful event. And please put your hands together so that we can appreciate the fantastic team members who put this lovely event together. Please put your hands together.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's appreciate the committee. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause.
We can do better.
A round of applause for the committee.
Thank you so much.
And to begin, we would like to recognize all the banks here present and that are part of this conference for 2024. And so we have Sterling Bank, make some noise for Keystone Bank, United Bank for Africa, UBA, Unity Bank, Wema Optimus Bank, Parallels Bank, I see you, Eco Bank, Access Bank, Citibank, Fidelity Bank, First Bank, FCMB, Globus Bank, GT Code, Signature Bank, Jaiz Bank, Polaris Bank, Providus Bank, Stanbic IBTC,
Stanbic, that's my bank. Where are we? Hey!
Standard Chartered Bank,
Woo! Thank you for
SunTrust Bank,
Thank you.
Taj Bank, Titan Trust,
Titan, yes! Loud and proud.
Union Bank, Premium Trust Bank, Zenith Bank,
Zenith.
Lotus Bank,
Thank you for being here.
NIBS, NIBSS, NIBS, all the NIBS in the house,
Thank you so
welcome.
much for being here.
Nova Bank,
Nova Bank.
Nova Bank, you're welcome. Central Bank of Nigeria, make some noise.
Thank you for being here. A huge round of applause for yourselves. We couldn't have done this without you. Thank you so much for partnering with us on this lovely, lovely event, the 10th annual conference of the Nigerian Bankers and Clearing Payment System Conference 2024. We're excited to have you here with us today.
And now to begin, let's invite, ladies and gentlemen, for the welcome address, we invite Gafar Idris. A round of applause for Gafar Idris.
To give the opening address. Please keep clapping till he makes his way to the stage. Thank you so much. You're an amazing, fantastic audience.
Indeed.
Keep the applause coming, please.
He is a coordinator. Make some noise for the coordinator. Gaffer
A
Idris.
man of many talents. Thank you so much. Good morning.
Thank you very much. Good morning, distinguished colleagues. The Acting Director, Banking Service Departments of the Central Bank, Madam Amiso Abdullahi, ably represented by Mr. Olaleye Ojeribe, the Acting Director, Information Technology Department of the CBN, Mr. Jide Omoyemi, ably represented by Mr. Rashid Olani, the Acting Director, Payment System Management Department of the CBN, Mr. Oladimeji Yisataiwo, the Acting Director, Branch Operation Department of the CBN, Dr. Aisha Isa-Olatinwo, the Branch Controller of the CBN Lagos Branch, Mr. Tony Dahibo, the Managing Director, Nigerian Interbank Settlement System, NIPS, all divisional heads of bank here present, all group heads of bank here present, all head of clearing of banks in Nigeria here present, honorable guests, respected speakers, panelists, dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, good morning everyone. It is my distinct pleasure to welcome each of you to the 10th Annual Nigeria Bankers Clearing System MBCS Conference 2024. We are truly honored to have such a distinguished gathering of professionals here today, all united by a shared commitment to advancing our industry through exchange insights and pursuing innovative solutions. Our theme this year, enhancing financial security and efficiency in the clearance and payment system, reflects our dedication to address both the challenges and opportunities that lies before us. As we navigate this evolving landscape, I am confident that our discussion, presentations, and collaborative sessions will provide fresh perspective and actionable solutions that will strengthen our industry. This conference provides not only a platform from learning from one another, but also a unique opportunity to build connections that empowers each of us in our roles. I encourage everyone here to participate actively, post questions, and share active expertise, because the success of this event depends on our collective engagement and contributions. A heartfelt thank you goes to our organizing committee, sponsors, and all volunteers who have worked tirelessly to bring this event to life. I would like to extend my special appreciation to Mr. Tony Dahibo, the Lagos State Branch Controller of CBN, for his unwavering effort and support in realizing this event. As we mark the 10th edition of this conference, we acknowledge the hard work of the previous committee members who have handed down the torch. Their mentorship and dedication have been invaluable, and we are deeply grateful for their contributions. Once again, welcome and thank you for being here. I look forward to an inspiring, productive conference together. Thank you very much.
Again,
And that was the
Mr.
welcome
Gaffer.
address.
Yeah. All right, we're going to move things on in quick succession. We will now be taking the opening address. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be welcoming this woman of distinguished repute. Please allow me to read out her profile. Aisha Isa-Olatinwo, PhD. She is the AG Director, Branch Operation Department, that manages the operational activities of the 37 CBN branches nationwide. She leads a team that is responsible for ensuring that DMBs and MDAs nationwide are being served efficiently by the CBN. Aisha has a background in retail banking, consumer protection, policy formulation, payment system, amongst others. She holds degrees in finance and accounting, a PhD in management science, finance, and a certified chartered banker. Due to her finance and policy background, Aisha is passionate about how innovation is changing the financial industry and how this can be a delivery channel for economic prosperity in low to middle income countries. We're glad to have you.
I welcome everyone again, and I feel that you permit me to stand on the established protocol. My job traditionally is to welcome you to the annual conference, and I congratulate every one of us who put this together in this special edition, the 10th edition of the Nigerian Bankers Clearing System and Annual Conference. I will say a very welcome to everyone, and to give glory to God for giving us the privilege to witness this. The theme of this annual conference is very apt: navigating the digital frontier, enhancing financial security and efficiency in the clearing and payment system. It is my honor and privilege to stand before you today as we embark on this important discussion surrounding the future of financial system, focusing on the achievement we have all made so far, the challenges encountered, and the opportunities in the area of clearing and payment system. Today, as we gather here at the forefront of innovation, you must agree with me that technology means finance to exploit the vast opportunity and challenges presented by digital landscape. These confer on us to facilitate meaningful discussion, foster collaboration, ignite creative solutions to propel the clearing and payments forward. And so it is very clear that the thin line is getting thinner, that the payment system and clearing at some point we fuse together. Yes, we may have, and I'm sure from the record, we can see that the usage of check and the check numbers are reducing, but what this tells us is that the clearing operations will not go away anytime soon. As we all know, the financial landscape is also evolving at unprecedented pace. The rapid digital transformation driven by innovation in fintech, blockchain, AI, and the data analytics is reshaping how we do business, how we process our business, and clearly we must be conscious of how we secure the banking transactions. While this advancement brings immense potential for efficiency, they also present new challenges that requires our collective expertise to address the new challenges. Ensuring that our financial infrastructures remain very secure, and I mean very secure, reliable and adaptable to these changes is very critical than ever before. The CBN, in furtherance of ensuring financial stability and customer confidence in the financial system, set up a committee that drafted policy document on reconciliation of the CBN main clearing accounts. And the essence is to ensure that we have accuracy, transparency, and efficiency in management of clearing transactions by establishing a robust reconciliation process. I appeal and implore the banking, the DMBs, to also go the same route by ensuring that all accounts relating to the clearing operations are improved. This way, we can be on top of our transaction by ensuring a fraud-free clearing process. This conference brings together an impressive lineup of speakers, as you are aware, comprising industry experts, thought leaders, subject matter experts and innovators from across the financial industry, who will share with us invaluable insight and experiences. Please join me, relax, and let's ensure that we engage, and at the end of the session, come out with what will define the way we do business in the coming days and coming years. Over the next few hours, we will explore cutting-edge development in the clearing and payment ecosystem, examining how we can enhance security, which is very critical, to smooth and seamless clearing operations. This, by extension, will improve operational efficiency and foster greater trust in digital financial landscape. Through the keynote speech, panel discussions, and other interactive sessions, we will together address a wide range of topics. This conference, again, will serve as a catalyst for progress, connecting visionaries, practitioners, and policymakers to shape the future of the clearing and payment system. Our goal is to leave here today not just with a deeper understanding of the challenges ahead, but with actionable insights that will help us navigate the digital frontier with confidence, foresight, and efficient service delivery to the entire Nigerian populace, and also to other correspondence relationships that we have outside our nation. I would like to take this opportunity to express sincere gratitude to all our speakers and panelists for sharing their expertise with us, and to our sponsors and partners who support this event and made it possible. A special thanks to you all, our participants, for your engagement and commitment to advancing the future of financial security and efficiency. As we begin this exciting journey, I encourage us all to share our ideas, ask intuitive questions, and connect with one another. The collaborative efforts we make today will pave the way for a more secure, efficient, and inclusive financial ecosystem. Let us navigate the digital frontier, driving growth, enhancing financial security, and promoting efficiency. I wish us all a productive, engaging, and inspiring conference experience. While I welcome you once again to the conference, I look forward that next year we will take stock and the result will be positive. Thank you all and enjoy the conference. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. A round of applause, please. Thank you so much, Madam Aisha Issa Latimo. Please mind the ground as you descend the stairs. Thank you so much once again. Go ahead.
Mr. Abdullahi Hamishu graduated with second class upper division in accounting from Bayero University, Kano, Nigeria in 1995, and obtained MBA Finance for Nasarawa State University, Nigeria in 2020. He is a fellow of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, FCA. Mr. Abdullahi started his career with an accounting firm in 1996 and later joined FBN Merchant Bankers as a banking officer in 1999. He joined the Central Bank of Nigeria in September 2003 as assistant manager and rose to the position of deputy director in 2022. He currently serves as acting director, Banking Services Department, CBN. He participated in many projects in CBN, including Payment System Vision 2020, Shared Services, Real-Time Gross Settlement System, and Nigeria Central Bank Digital Currency.
You are welcome, standing on the protocol already established. I want to welcome you all. Like you have been told, I am standing in for Malam Amisu Abdullahi, the Active Director of Banking Services Department, who is not here today due to duty call in another location. So I'm presenting this keynote address on his behalf, and he sends his regards to everyone here today. The keynote address. Good morning. It is an immense honor to stand before you today at the 10th edition of the Nigerian Bankers Clearing System Annual Conference, and reaching this milestone marks a decade of innovation and collaboration that has significantly shaped the evolution of Nigeria's payment and clearing systems. I would like to extend my warmest congratulations to the organizers, the sponsors, and all stakeholders for making the event a platform for thoughtful leadership and innovation in our financial sector. This year's theme, Navigating the Digital Frontier, Enhancing Financial Security and Efficiency in the Clearing and Payment System, speaks directly to the dynamic and rapidly evolving global financial landscape. It highlights the critical role we must all play in building a secure, efficient, and inclusive financial system, one that fully embraces the opportunities of the digital age. As the federal government continues to drive economic development and inclusion, fine-tuning Nigeria's clearing and payment system is very critical. The presentation and discussions during this conference will provide valuable insight to help support and align with the policies of the government. Dear participants, as we gather here today, we are witnesses to the transformation taking place in the Nigerian financial system. We've seen a profound shift in how financial transactions are made and processed. Millions of Nigerians who were once underserved now benefit from a wide range of financial services, thanks primarily to advancements in mobile payments, digital banking, and fintech. Nevertheless, we are also aware of the challenges this advancement brings, especially around the areas of cybersecurity, fraud prevention, data protection, and the need for robust regulatory oversight. Over the past decade, the Nigerian Bankers Clearing System has been instrumental in modernizing Nigeria's financial infrastructure. Key initiatives like the NIBSS, NIP, and the CBN RTGS have vastly improved the speed, the security, and the efficiency of financial transactions, and in a short period of time, move us from traditional manual systems to more automated, technology-driven processes. Moreover, the central bank's focus on financial inclusion through programs such as agent banking, mobile banking, and the National Financial Inclusion Strategy has helped millions of Nigerians gain access to financial services for the first time. This progress is something we should all be proud of. Unavoidably, the risks associated with these advancements are also growing. Cyber attacks, data breaches, and financial fraud are becoming more prevalent and sophisticated. We've seen an increase in incidents such as SIM swap attacks, phishing, and social engineering, all of which threaten the security of our payment systems. To mitigate this threat, encourage innovation, and ensure the integrity and security of our financial systems, we must remain vigilant and adopt a multi-phased approach, which must include, number one, optimized mobile payment platform. With high mobile phone penetration in Nigeria, we should expand mobile payment options by integrating more services with mobile wallets, as well as improve interoperability between payment networks and platforms. Additionally, reducing transaction costs, we make mobile payments more affordable. Secondly, investing in cybersecurity infrastructure. We must continuously invest in cutting-edge technology to monitor, detect, and neutralize cyber threats in real time, leveraging technologies such as AI-driven fraud detection and machine learning can help identify suspicious patterns in real time and prevent fraud before it happens. Thirdly, consumer education and sensitization. For payment system to function effectively, consumers need to understand how to use them securely. Financial literacy programs are essential to help users make digital payments, manage their finances, and protect themselves from fraud. Moreover, promoting financial literacy and cybersecurity awareness is crucial for reducing human error, which is often the root cause of cyber incidents, which I know that Central Bank is playing a very significant role in this regard. Strengthening collaborations. Collaboration is very key. Bank services providers, fintech companies, and other stakeholders must work together to build a more resilient financial ecosystem. Sharing threat intelligence and best practice can help us stay ahead of emerging cyber risks. Establishing information sharing platforms and innovation hubs would further support this collaboration by facilitating the development of new tools and techniques for securing financial systems. Number 5, regular cybersecurity training for staff. Banks and other financial institutions must provide regular cybersecurity training for their staff, especially those involved in handling customer data, to ensure that internet threats such as insider breaches are minimized. And lastly, robust legal frameworks and regulations. A strong enforceable regulatory structure is critical to securing the financial system. We must ensure our legal framework keeps pace with technological advancements, aligning with international standards like PCI DSS and GDPR to protect against fraud and maintain consumer trust. Ladies and gentlemen, the future of Nigeria's digital financial service is bright. With the growing penetration of smartphones, mobile internet, and digital payment solutions, we have a unique opportunity to build a truly inclusive, efficient, and secure financial system. But to realize this vision, we must continue to invest in our payment system, prioritize cybersecurity, and foster a regulatory environment that supports innovation while safeguarding security. In closing, I urge all of us here today, policymakers, regulators, financial institutions, fintech innovations, and other stakeholders, to maintain our practice of collaboration and innovation. These, I believe, will ensure that the systems we create in the future are built on a foundation of trust, security, and resilience. Nigeria has the potential to be a leader in the Africa digital financial revolution, and it is our collective responsibility to make this vision a reality. On this note, I want to say thank you, and I wish you all a productive and insightful conference. Thank you.
A round of applause, please. Let's put our hands together for Mr. Jerry Laleye. Thank you so much.
Well represented, indeed.
Thank you so much. Just so we can encapsulate some of the lovely things that he shared during his session. He talked about the need to remain vigilant and adopt a multi-phased approach. He also spoke about expanding mobile payments so that it can remain affordable. He also talked about investing in cybersecurity infrastructure, identifying cyber threats in real time before fraud occurs, and as well as the importance of consumer education and ensuring that we have a robust legal framework as well as regulation. Once again, please put your hands together for Mr. Ojerinde Olaleye. He did fantastic representing Mr. Hamisu Abdullahi.
All right, thank you so much, Chika, for summarizing that. It's a good take home that you did. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, please, there is a saying that says, a hungry man is an
Very
angry
angry.
man. Not so.
Are you
A
angry or
hungry
angry?
man is an angry man. So for the next 20 minutes, ladies and gentlemen, we invite you to rise, all right? To have a brief session at the back there. Let's have breakfast, light breakfast.
This
For
one
the
is
next
not that
20 minutes, it's a moment to network as well, all right? For the next 20 minutes, let's do that quickly and get back to our seats.
We have a gigantic spread for you, whatever you want. Intercontinental.
All right, so let's do it table by table, please. Yes, please, please. Let's do it table by table. So for the first row, let's go.
Table 1.
All right, please.
And 3, 1 and 3, please. And we'll take turns. So when they return, the next table still on the same line will go forward. So we can make it seamless and very organized. Thank you so much for your understanding and patience. DJ.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, Chika, I think we need to move to the next item, which is the paper presentation.
Yes, we're going to move on to the next item on the agenda, which is a paper presentation that is to be delivered by Omoyeme Jide Samuel, Director ITG. So I'll take his profile very briefly, and then I will introduce and we will make welcome his wonderful, able representative, okay? All right. Omoyeme Jide Samuel, the Acting Director of the Information Technology Department at the Central Bank of Nigeria, brings over 3 decades of transformational leadership in digital innovation. Her work has elevated the CBN's IT function to a strategic pillar, driving initiatives that leverage AI, advanced analytics, and cloud computing to enhance Nigeria's financial resilience and transparency. Notably, she led the integration of creating a standard for real-time oversight and spearheaded the development of Nigeria's Treasury Single Account, TSA, architecture, which has become a benchmark for efficient governance. Mrs. Jide Samuel's contribution to AI-driven analytics for monetary policy, coupled with her influence on cross-border digital policy in Africa, highlights her forward-thinking approach to digital inclusion. Known for her expertise in IT governance, she champions a vision of technology that supports economic stability, national growth, and sustainable impact. But sadly, she couldn't be here with us today. But not to worry, we have a wonderful and able representative in the person of Mr. Olaniyo Rashid. He is the Assistant Director, the Information Technology Department for the Central Bank of Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen,
let's welcome.
Put your hands together as we welcome Mr. Olaniyo Rashid to the stage. That applause can be louder, please. Thank Thank you so much for being here today with us, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Okay, I would like to stand on existing protocol, and I'm from IT, and what is always in my mind is about technology. Technology is always here to support whatever process we have and to make sure life is simple for everyone. So I will take us through the presentation, and I would like as much as possible to make it interactive at a stage. All right. So on daily basis, we can imagine things we do easily in the payment landscape. We say, okay, I want to pay for a coffee. I need to transfer money to a friend. I have a business deal that is very, very high and I need to make payment. All this, we can do it easily. Yes, we know, but something under it is the risk we are taking in doing all that. When you issue a check to someone, when you transfer money to your friend, when you pay for a transaction, there's an inherent risk behind it. And that risk, most of us, we do not take note of it, and we are not supposed to take note of it because the process that we have on ground is supposed to take care of it. Next page, please. Okay, so I will be presenting on this today, and you can go to the next. The agenda is basically about 4 or 5. We are going to look at the evolution of clearing system. Every year you do this program, we run through this, and as much as possible, I will be brief when I'm doing that. Then we need to talk a little about payment security, the growing threat of financial insecurity we have around the world, especially in Nigeria. Then we will look at recent digital finance fraud trends. I'm going to make recommendations, and then we can look into the future. Next page. So on the first item, just the brief revolution. Everyone in this room today, we are familiar with the journey so far, so I will quickly scan through it. And we started the story from 1961, and we stop at 2012 on significant things we have done on clearing system. The recent ones that will come to mind is check truncation. We worked on checkbooks to have some security within it. And today, we are using technology to support whatever we do in clearing landscape. So I don't know, we have between 2013 and 2019, we have check truncation, we have BVN, we have electronic transaction bill, we have the new check standard. The new check standard, next week, we did a lot on the new check standard in form of security to make it work. But the big question today is the energy we put into this, the cost we put into this. If I ask that question, why not put it on another process? Because as far as we are concerned, I have a question for us. Next page. What is the value and the volume of things that are done with check today? In this room, next page. In this room, if I may ask, how many of us have used check in the last 1 month? If you have used check in the last 1 month, raise up your hand. Okay, so given the population, I could see 2 hands up, and the population here may be about 100. That means we are saying just about 2% of the population is still using check. And today we have a clearing system. Clearing majorly in our mind is all about check, but the opening remark from Director BOD said we should look into a future that both clearing and payment may have to merge together as a single entity. So we look more into payment. If we say from, say, 2025, there won't be check again, what will be the reaction of everyone in this room? We say 2025, no more checkbook. What will be our immediate reaction? Before we can say that, there must be an alternative to checkbook. So do we know of alternatives that we have today that we can enhance to make sure that we don't have physical check anymore and we can still do whatever we want to do with checkbook? So next page, we have this volume, and I've asked this question. Next page. So the fact and the figure we have here is that check usage has declined. Check usage has declined, and for the best security we have within it, payment system that is taking over the check usage has a lot of security implications for us. But as much as check usage has declined, payment and settlement will always be there. Payment and settlement will always be there, and what I know of the banking environment is all the settlement activities of your bank is being carried out by your clearing department. What do we see as payment security? The measures, the protocols that we need to put in place to make sure that our transactions are safe, we call it payment security. But why will it be important? It's going to be important because fraud and fraud activity is another business on its own, and as much as we are putting the protocol in place, the cyber criminals are learning how to break those protocols. We have the second presenter made mention of insider threats. We have facts and figures that can show what has happened within the bank in the few period, let's say 2024 and 2023 for example. So security issues is always coming with payment system. As we mature into the technology we use, the criminals are getting matured also. And in everything, we always divide anything we want to do, especially in the banking environment, in the technology environment, we always divide them into three. We talk of the people, we talk of the process, and we talk of the technology. In Nigeria today, I don't think technology is our problem. We have core banking solutions that are good. We are improving on our network. Interbank settlement is going on very well. NIPS is doing good work. In NIP, we have other payment platforms that are coming up that are doing good. FinTech is also here with us, and we are doing great compared to other nations around the world. So technology is not our problem. We have people that understand their onion, they know their job, and they can set things right. So the people is not our problem. I'm from information technology, and that's why I'm showing this. We have facts and figures that are saying that if we know how much fraud we had in 2019, and if we compare what we have today as at 2023, although we are in 2024, I understand that, but the data we have up until 2023 is saying we've had an increase of 496%. And this is coming from the usage of technology to make life simple for us, but as we are trying as much as possible to make it easy for you to make your payments, to settle your bills, fraud practitioners are also making it difficult in a way. Next page. And this is the chart for what I just mentioned. The amount lost to fraud has increased drastically. Next page. And we tried to compare 2022 and 2023 in terms of fraud, and we look at the platform when that comparison is being done. And we discover that on mobile, on web, on POS, on internet, on ATM, on e-commerce, we could compare 2022 and 2023 and see that everything is rising in 2023 except for the ATM. Except for the ATM, everything went up in 2023. And can we suspect the reason we have a decline on the ATM fraud? It's because in 2023, maybe up until now, most of the banks' ATM are without cash. We migrated it into POS, and people are using POS. On a lighter note, I'll quickly talk about POS. Given the name POS, to the best of my knowledge, is supposed to be point of sales. It means you have rendered a service, you have sold something to me, and I'm supposed to pay. It's only in Nigeria, I don't know of any other country that we turn it to automated cash machine. Okay, so it's only here that you use POS to collect cash, because no service is rendered, nothing is sold. It's like you are selling cash to me and I'm paying to you. Okay, we also need to look at that. Next. So by channel, the most money lost are from mobile, from POS, and web. We are not losing money from ATM anymore because there's no money there. Next page. This is tiny, and we got this from NIPS. And he's talking purely about what area is our fraud coming from. Electronics fraud, clearing fraud, any fraud you talk about today in Nigeria is coming from what we call social engineering. I don't know if there's anyone here that doesn't understand what social engineering is all about. If we don't, it must have happened to us or a family member we know. You can receive a message from your WhatsApp environment, social media, and a family member asking you to quickly help in transferring certain amount of money. By morning tomorrow is going to repay you and things like that. That's social engineering. A lot of loss we had in terms of fraud is coming from that environment. Next page. So this is the final figure we have. We are saying the electronic payment in 2023 is the value we have is 60 trillion in 2023, and we had fraud of 18 billion within that 60 trillion. We can calculate what percentage of it is coming from fraud environment. Next page. So, I don't know if this is clear. I wouldn't want to dwell much on it. In March 2023, in October 2023, in February 2023, again another one in October 2023 and November 2023. These are big incidents in terms of fraud that we recorded in Nigeria. And it's about insider threats, fraudsters, social engineering, all combined. We have all this impact in our banking environment and as a result of fraud. And this is just a signal to let us know that we need to do something about it. We need to do something about it. Technology, we are good. People, we have good people. Our process, we need to look at it. We need to see what we can do much more better. Next page. So, in summary, we have 496% increase between 2019 and 2023. Most activities are happening, most fraud we have are happening in the mobile environment. Yes, we are into clearing. Checkbooks that is going to be the trigger into our clearing process is relatively not in use. So we should have a plan as institution, we should have a plan as institution to concentrate more on electronic payments and other settlement activities we carry out to make sure that we prepare for the future. Next. So we can do this. Next page. Next page. So for recent technological trends, quickly, like I said earlier, technology is not our problem in this country. There is no technology money can buy that we are not using in this country. We are very good at that, and we have sustained technology that can protect us to some extent. But we need to work on our people, we need to work on our process. Next page. The trend, you have quantum computing, you have 2.5G, Internet of Things, we have 5G. Next, 5G is a faster network. We have blockchain. Blockchain, we all believe, is very, very strong, and security incidents may not, you can record zero security threat on blockchain. We try to mimic that technology when we develop e-naira, and we know the stage we have on that. Artificial intelligence, machine learning is there. We have a lot of authentication, your BVN, your NIN, all of it is in place. Then the adoption of behavioral activities. Artificial intelligence can make your technology know if there is a problem. I was at a conference and someone said, if you install artificial intelligence into your car, if you've been driven with your left hand most of the time, if there's a problem and somebody stole your car and started driving with right hand, the system can detect and stop the car from moving. So it is in the banking environment. If there are things you normally do as a customer of a bank, there may be, if there is a variance from what you are used to, your system should be able to know. We can get to that stage, that system will be able to know that, no, this information is not coming from my customer. Maybe his phone has been stolen, or somebody else have access to his system. Next, security convergence. By security convergence, we are saying, don't stand alone as a bank and say, oh, I've secured my system. We need to collaborate. The second speaker from BKSD mentioned that. We need to collaborate, share resources, share information about our experience as regard fraud and security items. Cloud-based data, yes. In 2024, what are the trends of fraud that we have? Let's go. Okay, so we have fraud as a service. We can always check on this. We present all this later. And it has a lot of impact. Telegram uncovered recently, the cyber criminals, they are smarter, and cryptocurrency payment is ongoing, exchange using stolen credit card to purchase items is also going on. So we have people that specializes on fraud as their daily activity. Next page. Pickpocketing, and it has a lot of impact on the security threat and the fraud that is happening in 2024. And they use dating and social sites to get their victims. And it's about your money, it's about a process. Let's go. Social engineering is still part of it. And according to NIPS, in 2023, social engineering in form of pickpocketing was the most utilized technique for fraud in Nigeria, resulting to a loss of 8 billion naira. That's in 2024. Let's go. Okay, use of phones and like. Individual age 40 and above continue to be primary target for social engineering in 2023. So age range was analyzed, and we discovered that within that range, they are always prone to the threat that we are talking about. Next, go on. Okay, the rise in contactless fraud rises. Go on. And the use of AI-based attack vectors is also on the rise. Next, what is our recommendation? second speaker recommended a lot of options that we have. And one major one that is so important to me is what he said about the regulatory framework. It's one of the solutions that we are recommending. If you have any threat as a bank, you don't cover it up, you have to expose it. And information sharing and collaboration has been discussed by me and by the second presenter. Where are we starting? We say establish clear and consistent fraud definition, ensuring a solid understanding of common topology and their red flags. Conduct periodic assessments to check all mitigating measures are completely set and in control. So we need to work on all this as an institution, and as part of our regulation, it can also come up next. AI trust, risk and security management is still using the technology we have. We are still saying we can use the technology we have to prevent fraud activities. Next, other risk mitigation practices. We look into our process, we do collaboration, we do consumer protection, we set up the global standard, and these are all within the regulatory framework to make sure that we take care of what is needed to reduce fraud and to make sure that our payment platform is clean and reliable. Next. The look into the future. Yes. Okay. So we say for the first time, companies may be able to create their own customers. A matching customer, also known as a robot or customer, is a program that uses artificial intelligence. We can make use of it, but where are we going to start? The creation of a matching customer research team with high-level strategic representatives to explore the business opportunity and safety concerns of these new digital players. We are not here, we are not close to this already. We are far from this, but for now, it's something we can look into, and we believe with the mind set into what is going to happen in the future, we can quickly adapt when the time comes. Next, enhance chargeback prevention, implementation of automated dispute tools such as the charge flow to manage disputes. Disputes today, we still go through a lot of process. If anything should happen to my account, if I should inform the other bank and say, okay, this amount of money is about fraud activity, please block it for me. You will hear things like, go and get a court order, go and do this and that, and before I get that, the money is gone. The money is gone. Can we get to that stage that we can codify this? We can codify even the money I've sent to another institution. If I have some basic information about that transaction, I should be able to issue an instruction to the recipient bank and ask them to suspend that transaction for a little time. We've had cases of putting lien in account. So if what we understand is putting lien on an account, how do we grow to be able to put lien on a transaction, not on the account? Meaning if I have 100,000 in my account and another 20,000 has come into it, and that 20,000 is a fraudulent amount, I can put lien on that 20,000. All you need from me will be a channel, a code. It could be a USSD code that I need to send, confirming that that transaction of 20,000 emanated from me, and you can do a quick act on it by stopping the withdrawal of that 20,000 naira. Okay, next. So in conclusion, next, the fraudster continues to evolve. It feels like every day there's a new form of payment fraud. The moment we develop some sort of protection, criminals invent yet another 100 scam and schemes. They are faster than us. That's the only business they have. And as much as we try to block them, they always get another way. So we need to retrofit our processes and make sure that we can protect our customers. They hack, we defend, but this cycle is tiring and demands a lot of resources. That is why the payment industry as a whole needs to get ahead of the curve. To appropriately secure our systems, we must rely on smart predictions of future attacks and also analyze previous trends which we have discussed in the presentation. This approach, we believe, will help us build the right proactive strategies with the right technology to secure our payment system. So thank you, everyone. I will stop here.
And just before we move on to the next segment, another striking thing you mentioned is about the point of sale system. Why are POS now selling cash?
Are there any ATM machines that still vend out cash? I don't know of any.
So maybe the regulatory board needs to look into this actually, for them to serve its purpose. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're moving on to the next item.
The guest speaker to actually take on the next session to give us his guest speech. We would like to.
All right. May I invite Oladimeji Yisa Taiwo to please rise and proceed.
A round of applause for him, please, as he makes his way to deliver the first guest speech.
All right. I would like you to stand this way so that we read your profile. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, pay attention, please. Taiwo is a seasoned professional with over 3 decades of cross-functional experience and exposure to banking operations, credit risk management, remittances, financial planning and control, retail and consumer banking, and payment system and digital financial services. His experience cuts across a number of commercial banks in Nigeria and the Central Bank of Nigeria. He is currently the Acting Director, Payment System Management Department, Central Bank of Nigeria. Taiwo holds a first-class degree in accounting from Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, and a master's degree in economics from the University of Port Harcourt. He is a member of the various professional bodies, namely Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, a fellow, Chartered Accountant, Chartered Institute of Transaction of Nigeria, Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria, Nigerian Institute of Management, and the National Institute of Credit Administration. Ladies and gentlemen, Oladimeji Yisa Taiwo, Acting Director, Payment System Management Department. You're welcome, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. As we say in Nigeria, all protocols duly observed. As a way to ensure that we remain together, I will be saying something. It's like an American proverb or an European proverb. I'm not sure about the origin. So when I say it, you'll be helping me complete it. And it's the theme for me, for my speech, because a lot of the previous speakers have done justice to the topic. So when I say the more things change, you will help me say the more they remain the same. So the more things change. So good morning. Oh, good afternoon. Everybody once again. And I want to draw a parallel and create a scenario to demonstrate to you that indeed the more things change, the more they remain the same. Mankind has tried. We have evolved. We have moved in all spheres of our lives. And I will take only one. Transportation. The need to move from one point to the other has always been with human beings. Right from when the only means of traveling was on foot, to when man started traveling on horseback. Man used horses, camels, donkeys, ponies, and so on and so forth. To when the first car, the first automobile was manufactured. Now, for those who have only known cars in their lives, they will think that technology has solved and removed all the problems that our ancestors faced when their only means of transportation was horseback. But do you know what? The more things change, the more they remain the same. In the days when man transported himself on horseback, they also coped with a lot of issues that we are coping with now, even as car owners. Horses had to be acquired. Today, you need to also acquire cars. After the acquisition of the horses, you had to feed them. Today, you also need to buy petrol into your vehicles. Horses and camels had to be washed and groomed. Today, you also need to wash your cars and vehicles. There must also be, or there must have been parking spaces or stables for horses. Today, the moment you acquire a car, where you are going to park it becomes a problem. So, the more things change, what technology has introduced is speed. Speed, and then convenience, comfort, and in many cases, cost efficiency. But the fundamental problems remain the same. If you are traveling today from Lagos to Kano, there must be a purpose behind your travel. The same way if you were riding on horseback from Lagos to Kano, there must be a purpose, whether official, whether business or pleasure. When the last speaker spoke, he said something about technology, people, and process. And when you really look at it, the horse or the horse carriage then was the technology. The rider was the part of the people. And then perhaps the road or the payment rail was the process. If I give you a horse now to come and ride on it, there is a skill that is required to ride the horse. The same way, if you give someone that is not a skilled driver to drive a car, it will most likely end in an accident. In those days, to get a horse to move fast, you had to pull the reins in a particular way. To get the horse to stop, you also had to do something in a particular way. So also is the use of technology. The previous speakers have done justice to artificial intelligence, machine learning, blockchain, distributed ledger system, Internet of Things, cyber security, cyber awareness. So I will not bore you with all of that anymore. I will stay on the fundamentals, because the more things change, the more they remain the same. I will focus on the fundamentals that have not changed. One of the previous speakers said something. The form in which we do things may change, but the substance remains the same. Payment will remain the same, will remain. Settlement will remain for as long as there is more than one bank in the system. So with our rapidly growing population, financial service providers face the challenge of meeting the evolving banking needs of millions of Nigerians. In order to do so effectively, many institutions have adopted digital financial services allowing them to reach more customers at a fraction of the cost of the traditional brick and mortar branches. And just as I said earlier, the emphasis is on speed. You know, when the acting director, banking services department, got to the end of his speech, Chika was saying something to him. You think maybe we did not hear you. She was saying faster, 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 faster. Did you not say so? It's about speed today. And it's not a surprise, because if you look at the evolution of the very fast payment systems in Nigeria, from NEFT. NEFT came about in 2004. The NIMS instant payment system came about in 2011. The NUBAN, the PVN came about in 2014, and so on and so forth. But when you look at the age range of Gen Zs, all these developments that power speed happened during that age range. So what they know and what they enjoy is speed. But speed does not remove the fundamentals. Okay? Advancements in the Nigerian payment system, such as the provision of instant transaction value to customers and availability of multiple affordable payment channels, have further contributed to this transformation. Some people here would remember up-country checks that used to clear after 21 working days. There were also intra-checks and local checks. Local checks then, I think we started with T+7. We reduced it to T+5, from T+5 to T+3, now T+1. And we're also moving to T+0. Now merchants are asking for instant credit for POS transactions, and I know that a number of banks have already enabled that service. So it's T+0, it's instant, everything is instant. It is speed-driven generation. Now we need to also mind the speed and the risks that the speed brings to the table. Because, again, I do not want to start talking about what the previous speakers have spoken about. We need to go back to the basics and re-emphasize whether we are taking our eyes off them. One of the previous speakers also said something, that technology is not the problem, but because of the era that we have found ourselves, a lot of people think that once you have made the right investment in technology, you will become happy ever after. But is that really the case? No. Because there are some things that technology will not do by itself. Even though today there are self-driving cars, but for you to have self-driving cars, you need to have good roads, road markings, traffic lights, and so on and so forth. So there is a need for a robust, secure framework. As we celebrate these technological advancements, we must also acknowledge these risks that they introduce. Let's not forget the fact that the banking relationship with customers is built on something, and that is trust. The trust that their funds are secure, the trust that failed transactions will be resolved swiftly, and the trust that institutions would be vigilant in preventing fraud. Now, this trust is fragile, as a single breach have lasting effects which deter customers from engaging with digital banking services. The registration desk, the more things change, the more they remain the same. But do you know that while some people are also wary of introducing additional features, let me go back to my transportation example. Before the car that you see today could replace horses, do you know that people actually protested that they do not want cars? You need to be satisfied about the nature and the purpose of that account. It is the foundation. We may spend all day talking about artificial intelligence. In fact, there was a particular financial institution that got an artificial intelligence in place in the form of a transaction monitoring software. The transaction monitoring software flagged a transaction as potentially fraudulent. But a human being working in that financial institution released the transaction. So the more things change, the more they remain the same. Yes, we can buy technology, you can buy a car. But if you ignore the warning signs on your dashboard, what are you going to end up with? In any case, the owners of horses and camels in those days also had a problem. Cities then had a challenge. Can you imagine what it was? They called it the pollution from horses. Because of the fact that horses have to be fed, the consequence of eating is you have to pass it out. Their roads were littered with waste from horses. Now, are we not also grappling with car pollution? The more things change, the more they remain the same. We cannot gloss over a strong KYC and 6DD protocols, especially because it is the foundation on which every other thing is built. So effective controls, such as daily call over, something as very basic as a reconciliation process, is being pushed to the back. Some financial institutions think that, oh, I've already invested in a reconciliation software. If you have invested in a very good CCTV system, and the CCTV notices an intruder, is it the CCTV that will go and stop that person? And when you look at a reconciliation system, which is the foundation of the old clearing system, now we have migrated to digital. Some people think that reconciliation is no longer very important. So a customer goes to your ATM to make a withdrawal, and the ATM did not dispense. But you expect a manual teller to balance at the end of the day. Are we balancing the internal account of the ATM on a daily basis today? Are we deploying enough resources to this particular process? Because earlier somebody spoke about process. He said, yes, we've bought the best forms of technology, but what of that process? If we were doing that, our customers will not be complaining that we have not been crediting them back with their failed transactions. So your customer goes to a merchant and he does a remote on us transaction, but there is a failure. But the acquiring bank received settlement for that failed transaction. A very good and robust reconciliation system should be able to throw it up for you that your merchant did not receive value, but the settlement is sitting with you. The same thing applies to NIP. Because money cannot just disappear. Money does not disappear, whether you are doing it manually or you are doing it digitally. But are we paying the right attention to this reconciliation process? Navigating the digital frontier, enhancing financial security and efficiency in the clearing and payment system. The more things change, the more they remain the same. Comprehensive due diligence during the recruitment of staff is also very important. A previous speaker spoke about fraud as a service. Are you aware that there are now groups who sponsor fraudsters, trained fraudsters, to pass themselves off as bank staff? And you see their certification. They have a long list of certifications, and when you recruit them, little do you know that you are bringing in a member of a syndicate. It's like the syndicate that usually gives out house helps to people. House helps that are part of kidnapping or armed robbery rings. If you do not do your due diligence very well, when you are bringing in a house help, you know, which is actually an employment situation, it's the same way that those people that you are bringing to your system would also compromise the system. So whether it is through a manual means or a digital means, the more things change, the more they remain the same. There was a particular instance of a bank staff who was arrested, and when they were going through his mails, they saw that several mails that he sent to his internal audit team were also blind copied to fraudsters outside. So we cannot shy away from some of these comprehensive due diligence efforts, whether they apply to customers or to staff members. There was something that everybody who gets employed in a bank used to be taught at the training school. Then they used to call it bankers' advice or advice to bankers. It was published in 1863. You may Google it after this event, Advice to Bankers of 1863. Although that document was published over 160 years ago, the pieces of advice there are as relevant today as they were in 1863. So the more things change, the more they remain the same. Consumer education is also very important, because in order to navigate the digital frontier that we have found ourselves, consumers need to be very aware of their own responsibilities. A lot of customers do not realize that having a payment card in your possession is one of the factors of authentication, that you have it already. And if you go and look back at our good old checkbooks, they would print as part of the check leaves that it is your responsibility as a customer to protect and safeguard this checkbook. Because the only other thing that is required is a signature, which is now akin to a password or a PIN. So a check leaf is to a payment card, and the PIN is like the signature. So the more things change, the more they remain the same. Let me go to the issue of mitigating third-party risks. As we strengthen all these internal controls that I've spoken about, it's also important to recognize the risks which are associated with third-party partnerships. Because banks and other financial service providers, they rely on third-party providers for certain services. But you know what we have seen? We have seen areas of vulnerabilities from these third-party interactions. So a particular bank has access to the BVN portal. And as we say today, you know, we're in the age of digitalization, digital transformation. They developed an API and for a third-party entity to handle certain things for them. You do not know whether the same standards that you have in your bank exists with the third party. And then we'll be battling with the issue of data privacy, data breaches. Somebody is at home on a Saturday like this and they are calling him, is your name this? Do you have an account in this place? How do those pieces of information get leaked? And just like I said, that we should not rely so much on technology to the extent that we begin to lose sight of the good old controls. So when we talk about artificial intelligence, I've already spoken to you about a particular human intervention when it comes to artificial intelligence. Before I conclude, I will tell you one more story about artificial intelligence. Somebody used a particular service online. He said he was going to see a doctor. And 1 week later, ChatGPT sent him a message that, how was your visit to the doctor? Are you feeling better now? This person was very surprised that you are not supposed to initiate conversations. You are supposed to provide answers to whatever problem I throw at you. Because he was surprised, he asked ChatGPT, did you just initiate this conversation? ChatGPT said yes. Oh, really? Is this like an upgrade? ChatGPT said, oh yes. And because the guy was not satisfied, he escalated it. It was all over the internet. It happened in October this year. And the developer or the owner of ChatGPT, OpenAI, now had to address that issue. That you see, there have been cases whereby ChatGPT initiated discussions. Please note that it was a bug. So did ChatGPT lie? Don't forget that ChatGPT said it was an upgrade, but the developer said it was a bug. If we get to the point where AI could lie, then we're in trouble. Because lying or deceit or manipulation is a human thing. We use it to get advantages, to get benefits, and to get ahead. A machine should not be interested in lying. That is just to tell you a very short story about artificial intelligence. There are other interesting stories about AI, but we need to manage time very well. In summary, the journey towards a fully digital financial ecosystem requires that we should balance innovation with stringent security measures. As Nigerian banking professionals, it is our responsibility to ensure that the payment system operates in a way that is credible, in a way that is transparent, and in a way that is efficient. By enhancing KYC and CDD processes, instituting rigorous reconciliation practices, managing third-party risks, increasing consumer education, strengthening internal controls, we can successfully navigate the digital frontier with confidence. not forget that the more things change, the more they remain the same. I would like to thank you for your attention and your commitment to a secure, efficient, and trusted Nigerian financial system. Let's continue to work together in order to safeguard and protect the integrity of our payment systems as we embrace the future of digital systems. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Taiwo.
Thank you so much. As we continue to drive the need for speed, we need to understand that certain things are fundamentals that would never change. And so it's important to continue to implement robust security framework that can accommodate all these technological advancements that we're talking about, while understanding that trust is at the core of everything that we do. And Mr. Taiwo Yisa spoke about the need for a strong KYC framework for customer due diligence. And just lastly, before he wrapped up, very shocking thing that he revealed about some of the lapses that we can only envisage in tech. And so even while we are all for tech, it's important that we emphasize the need for fact checkers, right?
Very important.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you so much once again. Please let's put our hands together once again for Mr. Taiwo Yisa Ladimeji in delivering that very apt and resounding guest speech.
And we will never forget that line. The more things change, the more they remain the same. And now we move over to the next.
All right, so we're going to have the second guest speaking session. This session is going to be delivered, it was supposed to be delivered by Ekoma Chidi Ugoji from NIPS, but she is represented today by Mr. Francis Madueke. He is the head NAC and NAPS in NIPS. So Mr. Francis Madueke is an alumni of OAU. Let's welcome him actually to the stage.
Let's invite Mr.
Let's welcome him to the stage as we read his profile. Please put your hands together as we welcome Mr. Francis Madueke to the stage. A round of applause. Please keep it coming. Thank you so much for your collaboration in this regard. Please watch your step. Good afternoon, sir. We're super glad to have you here today. So Mr. Francis Madueke is an alumni of OAU IFE with over 17 years experience in banking operations, settlement and reconciliation, business operations transformation, robotics process automation. He also has attended several advanced leadership and management trainings, both locally and internationally. Please join us as we now listen to Mr. Francis Madueke. Thank you so much for being here. A round of applause please for him. Thank you.